We're going to talk about the volume of cones. Yesterday we did the volume of cylinders, right? Mm-hmm. And we learned the volume of cylinder is the area of the base. That's that big B. And remember, big B equals area of the base. It is not the base, it's the area of the base. So big B is the area of the base. You've got to remember that. Little b means base. Big B is the area of the base. We learned that in a cylinder, what's the base? What is the base? What figure makes up a circle?
Sorry.
Trayson, what's the area of a circle? What is the formula for the area of a circle? Use the yellow sheet. Get out the yellow sheet, all y'all.
Is it 3.1?
Y'all.
No.
It's pi r squared.
Pi r squared. So when we talk area of the base, and we're talking cylinders and cones, it's pi r squared. So the difference between a cone and a cylinder is a cone is only 1/3 the volume of a cylinder. They can have the same dimensions, but the cone is 1/3 the volume, which means a cup of ice cream or a cone of ice cream at the same size always get the cup. There's more ice cream. So our formula comes out as 1/3 the area of the base times the height. Or if you break it out and you put in that area of the base in there, which I do suggest when you get to these formulas, it's 1/3 times pi r squared height. So here we have some cones. What have I got right here all the way across? What is this? Diameter. Is diameter what we want for our equation?
No.
What do we want? Half the diameter, which is the... So if the diameter is 15, what's the radius? What is the radius? What is half of 15? 7.5. Slow down, Travis. Let everyone catch on. I know you're doing well. It does help. If you've got the diameter there, it does help to write R equals. That way you're not sucked into questions like that. Does that make sense? Because invariably, the biggest mistake you'll make, instead of, in fact, when I give papers back, instead of doing the radius, you multiply by the diameter. The word problems got you all in trouble. Every one of them said diameter, you all just used that as radius, with very few exceptions. So let's do this problem. First, always write out the equation. Its volume equals 1/3 pi r squared times height. Correct? I should put these on cards. I have to add new cards for that.
What do you mean you should put them on?
Volume formula cards.
Oh no.
That'll be good. Okay, so I'll bring this down. The 1/3 stays the same. Remember, when we do calculators, if you have a fraction, put it in parentheses. What is pi? Bryson, what does pi equal? Go ahead. 3.14. And that's all we're ever going to use. There's actually a pi button on the calculator. And if you were an engineer building something that was important, you would run pi out to a lot more digits. We're doing kind of close estimation, and that's far enough. What is the radius of our cone? We wrote it down, right? We wrote it up here, didn't we?
7.5.
If you didn't write the radius up there as 7.5, do so. So 7.5 squared times the height. What's the height of our cone, Peyton? 16. All right. Put that in the calculator. Remember, fractions, put parentheses around them. Otherwise, you get weird things that happen in a calculator.
Do we have to put the B's?
No. Because what you're going to type in is this, and you'll get what V equals.
Okay, how do you put fractions?
Here.
No, parentheses, 1 divided by 3, close parentheses. All a fraction is division written in a different way. Those are multiplication, yes. We don't use x's a lot when we hit to algebra because we use x a lot. So multiplication written as an x gets confusion. We just use a dot. squared times 16.
Is it gonna be that big number?
I got 90. No, just a base.
940.
Tracy, you want to get the door, please?
9,420.
I think yours might be a little big.
Negative 800.
What'd you get, Elena?
942.
942, no decimal at all?
Yeah, decimal here.
Okay. 942, remember, we need to do the measurement, which is centimeters, and volume is always cubed. So 942 centimeters cubed.
Got my decimal on third.
Sir, for some reason I got negative 808.
You did it wrong.
Okay, be kind.
Wait, why did it put?
Can I show him?
It like parentheses over my thing. Why did it put parentheses there?
It'll recalculate for you. Oh, because you put down here instead of multiplication, you put minus.
Oh, that's not wrong.
It is not.
Shut up, Peyton.
Okay, hey, we make mistakes. Mistakes are called learning. Ouch.
Are you
Did you learn from that mistake?
No.
okay?
Okay, let's look at this one down here. Do we have a radius or do we have a diameter?
You have a radio.
We have a radius, so r equals 2, right?
Yeah.
So what's the formula for the volume of a cone?
Okay.
Travis, what's the formula for the volume of a cone?
Oh! Is it
1/3
922?
times pi times r. I'm saying it wrong, but yeah.
R squared,
Height.
height. Okay,
Same times the last.
so remember, put 1/3 inside parentheses. What's pi?
If you did not be quiet.
3.14.
3.14 times, what is the radius of our cone here? Y'all, chill.
He's taking it off.
I know.
Move somewhere else.
Infinisolus S.
No, sit. I'll deal with that. Okay, so what's the radius? 2. So it's 2 squared times, what's the height? What's the height of this cone?
3.
Jason, what's the height?
There's like a blur.
3. Yeah, there's a little glare. So go ahead and put this in the calculator.
And I won't mess up this time, hopefully.
The greatest thing about these calculators, if you haven't noticed, is when you hit enter, it reformats the entire equation that you put in, and you can check it right against yours.
Can I say the answer this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. It's kind of the easiest thing we've done, I think.
In a while at least.
It's, Trayson, really, it's not. It's just that your brain has now made connections.
So smart.
Yeah. I never
I'm
said...
gonna say no myself. That would be funny.
Trayson, you already know you're
You
great.
should've said no as a joke.
Trayson, you already know you're doing extremely well in this class.
Yeah, no, I'm amazing.
I'm probably done. I'm probably
Okay,
Dude, it
So what do you got,
would've been
Peyton?
Said no. I wish you would have said that. I wish you would have said no.
I would have said it.
I wish you would've
12.56.
said no.
yeah, now remember, we're rounding to the nearest tenth, right? So
Yeah,
12.50
it'd be 13.
No,
What?
nearest tenth is right here. The tenth is the first decimal place.
I'll say it'd be 12.
12 point.
6.
What happens to this 6? Is this 6 5 or greater?
Yes.
Greater.
So it makes this one get bigger, right?
Yeah.
And this one goes away. So 12.6, remember, put on your measurement, feet cubed.
Equal to space.
Why do I always put for cube? I always put a 2.
Sir, do you know what a spade is?
Yep. Okay, let's look at number 3. What do we have here?
Radius.
Radius. So
7.
that's what we're looking for, right?
Yes.
So the formula is volume equals
Volume
1/3
pi r squared.
r squared. Keep going.
Pi.
There you go. So now we fill in the parts. Remember that we always put 1/3 in parentheses. Pi is
3.14.
3.14. What's the radius over here?
7.
Y'all are going fast.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Tracy's fault.
What about
Sorry.
Peyton, you up to now?
Almost.
So we put our 1/3 in parentheses. Pi is 3.14.
7 squared.
The radius is 7, so it's 7 squared times the height
Is 8.
is 8.
Okay.
Now write it in. If you guys always write the equation out on your paper, it makes it very easy for me to show you where you had problems if you miss it. If you don't write the equation, all I can do is circle an answer and say it's wrong.
Are you okay?
Hold on.
What?
Jason, you already get the answer to that?
Yes, sir.
What'd you get? 110.3,
400.
410.
Yeah.
Good job.
And measurement,
I don't like spoiling.
millimeters, and those are cubed. Very good.
Is it a 410?
410.3 millimeters cubed.
29. 3 repeat.
So,
Yes, ma'am?
I'm sorry. I didn't even say that out loud.
Okay. Let's look at the bottom. It's a word problem. It said the cone of the volcano Paricutan in Mexican has a height of 410 meters and a diameter of 424 meters. Approximate the volume of the cone. Use 3.14 for pi. So first thing we do is we draw ourselves a model.
Whoops, that's what
It's a volcano, so I'm going to draw it this way. There's my volcano. I put my down line, my cross line. Everyone got that diagram yet?
Yes, I got it.
Mine doesn't look like that. But
It doesn't. Remember, a model just has to function for you. It doesn't have to be pretty. But if you really want to, you can put little smoke clouds coming off it.
he said it doesn't have to be pretty, and then he goes, if you want these, put smoke clouds.
I got smoke clouds coming off my volcano. So what's the height of the volcano?
410
Bryson, you doing okay? You following this? What's the radius of the volcano? Travis?
212.
212. How did you get that?
Because you have to half the diameter.
Yeah, we had the diameter in the word problem, so what I want to do up here is put radius equals 212. Anytime I see the word diameter, I want to make sure I convert it to radius. So now, all this is a simple problem. The picture will help. Without the picture, you're liable to just do stuff. And sometimes doing stuff works, but most of the time doing stuff ends up with not functional.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am?
Never mind, I figured this.
Okay. So let's write the problem. What's the formula for the volume of a cone? Jason, what's the formula for the volume of a cone?
Jason.
1/3
1/3 pi
pi r squared.
r squared
Height.
height. Thank you. So remember, we're going to keep our 1/3 in parentheses. What's pi?
3.1. Right.
3.14. What's the radius of our volcano?
212.
212 squared times the height of our volcano, 410.
410.
All right, it's going to be a big number because it's a volcano. We expect it to have a decent volume.
Can we go ahead and do it?
Do the math. Don't blurt the answer.
Wait a minute.
At first, I didn't think it was right. It was so
Yeah,
big.
neither did I.
It is a huge number. Bryson, did you get a number?
I don't
You
think
don't
it's
know
right.
how
I don't think it's right. I don't think
Nobody say it. I want to get it. Because I haven't got one.
I
wait,
think
wait,
I
is
did
that-
it wrong. Can I come show you?
No, it's
Mhm.
not.
Yeah.
Yours is in like,
Answer.
yours is in like scientific form or something.
Nobody
Yeah,
say
mine's
anything.
inside.
Nobody's saying anything.
How do I get mine? Ours are in scientific
Okay.
form.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
let me borrow your
So
calculator.
when you,
All right.
Yeah, you come.
If you end up with an E number, that means E means times 10 to whatever comes after it. So times 10 to the 7th power. That would be 7 zeros. Way you fix that is go to doc, settings, which is 7. Come here, ma'am.
Oh, we're looking up there.
Document settings, which is 2. And then down here where it says exponential format, it should say normal. And let me remember which one is. Okay, I'm just gonna hit. All I'm gonna do is go down here and go restore. I'm not gonna even do the other stuff.
So restore?
Yeah, just restore. I don't know what they have going here, but it was weird. Somebody's played with it a lot. And then make default. If you don't make default, it won't do that. So now you can re-enter the problem. It'll come out correctly.
So I have to re-enter it?
That's where I didn't work.
Yeah. People use. I won't lie to you. People use the calculators for other classes. I wish they wouldn't put it into scientific form, but some just. We're in the middle of class. They can't keep themselves to writing. Right. Jason. Oh, not Jason. Bryson, did you get it?
Yes,
Okay. What's the volume of this volcano?
it's a very big number.
Okay. Start reading it.
Wait, no, it's not. Hold on.
Wait, I still got the same
It'd be
thing. I still got.
one more second to make sure this is.
That's fine. We can convert it.
Yeah, I got the same thing.
Okay, I
Come on,
got.
Tracy, you broke it. I'm just kidding.
Why? I got the same thing too.
You're gonna get a new one or so?
No. Hold on. We'll.
Just say it.
Okay. Okay, you do it, Hayden.
Me?
Yes. You
Tracy, give me your number.
Okay, it's in scientific.
Okay, give it to me.
Okay, 1.9. Okay, so it'd be 1.9287.
287 times 10 to the 7th.
Oh, that should have been mine.
And that would be meters cubed, right?
This mine's
So
wrong.
do you want me to times that?
Well, hold on.
You want me to tell you what I got?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to show you how to take care of that. So, remember, if it's times 10 to the 7th, what you're going to do is move this decimal places 7 places to the right. So I've got 1, and I'm going to put a little 0.9287, but now I'm going to move my decimal place 7 to the right.
I got this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I fill those zeros where I've got empty spots, and then meters cubed. So
Oh, it rounded on mine.
so it's 19,287,000 cubic meters. Yes, sir?
It rounded on, I think mine and this.
It's-
on
It's common.
so that's what we.
What'd you get?
I did not
We
get a
got, like,
decimal.
So drop.
I can't even read it.
There's in scientific, I'll figure out what, yeah, it's the
They
same thing.
rounded right here.
I got
Yep,
1,
they do.
2, 8, 6, 9, 6,
Yeah,
8.
you got the same thing I did.
Yeah.
Theirs rounded.
Theirs is in scientific, and I'd have to figure out why. Somebody's played with something in there, and now it'll make me work harder.
I'll put it in.
I will take both answers. They're both correct. Scientific notation is one of those things you have to know too. Oh, I could stop recording.
Maybe.